Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So getting back, so console. Okay. So what we shall do is today we'll explore one thing called IAM. Okay. So we'll try to access further more in this. So IAM stands for Identity Access Management. So what all we can do is right now, as you can see, we are operating from admin account, right? So this is my admin account. So who is the complete owner or owner of this account? So as you know, in an organization, so multiple people will be getting involved in multiple jobs, right? So for example, a developer will be looking after the development. Okay. So similarly, some testing team will be looking after some testing work. Similarly, when what we say database person, so he will be sitting on database. So as you can see, this data person will not have any knowledge on testing or programming, right? So similarly, the programmer will have no knowledge on testing or maybe databases. So what we need to do is we need to give access to these people to their respective area only. Okay. So what we do is we will be creating multiple users in our account. So you might be asking, sir, why we need so many multiple users? So, for example, if someone is working under a project, if under a project, maybe for example, I will be saying some around 20 people are working under one project. So, as you know, these 20 people will have different responsibilities. So, each will be assigned one specific role, and these person will be doing that particular task only. So, this developers will not put any fingers on databases or this developers. So, that means no interference in the work will happen. So, the work need to be properly segregated. So as you can see in a project, not everybody will be given access to this console account, right? So console account may be mainly used by the managers, okay, or else we can say a project owner or project manager will be handling this account. So what this project manager will do is he will be creating multiple accounts for different users, okay. So and he will have total control of all these users. So once we do some practical part, you'll be able to understand this clearly. Okay. So what we can do is, so right now I think we have started working on instances. So we'll just try to on this instances permissions only, because as you know, in this AWS there are so many hundreds of services. Okay. So almost on all the services the procedure will be same. Okay. So what we shall do is we'll create one user today, and we will be trying to log in with the user account. Okay. So I think the other time also we have just discussed there will be two users. One is root user and one is normal user. So today we have this is root user, right? So root user account you are familiar. One is a normal user account. How we will do, we'll show today. Okay. So just click on this IAM. So go to the search bar and search for IAM. Okay. So here you will be having sections like access. The left section you can see access management. In the access management section, you can see user groups. You can see users. You can see roles, policies, identity providers, and account settings. I think the other time while we were working on this session manager, we have worked on little on roles, right? So Now what we shall do is we shall explore users and user groups today. Okay, so what we shall do is first we'll try to create one user. As you know, this person Haritu Bablu is the main admin or owner of this account. Okay, or else you can say manager, or you can also say root user. Okay, so now these are all sub users. This main root user will create this sub users such that he can segregate his work. Okay, so I'll create one user group. In a simple way, what you can understand is we are working on this Ubuntu server, right? So we want to give this Ubuntu server permission to the next person. So that person is this one. Okay, for example, I will say, we'll take a notepad. Okay, as you can see, Hari to Bablu is a root user. Okay, so now what this person will want to do is he want to assign the job, and job is there. So what is the job? For example, I'll say admin job is there. Okay, so what this admin will do, handle instances or servers. Okay, so similarly I'll say some database person. Okay, so some database person handle data bases. Okay, so similarly some for example, I'll say Python developer. Okay, so handle programming. Okay, so this person will be handling all these jobs. Okay, so right now what we will be doing is we will create one user. For example, I will say name. I will say what name we can say. For example, mm, Wednesday, sorry, Tuesday today. So Tuesday is the user. Okay, so what this Tuesday will do is he will handle all the servers or instances which we have created. Okay, so this user will be, I am naming it as Tuesday. Okay, so as you know, this root user Hari to Bablu is having permissions for everything. So he want to split his work or share his work to user uh, named Tuesday, who will be handling our instances. Okay, so that we'll try now. So getting back, so as you can see, just get to this users section and click on add users. Okay, so you can give an username. So I'll get back. So here you can see I've decided the name as Tuesday. So I'll copy Tuesday and I'll give the name as Tuesday. So what this person will do is he will uh, handle our instances. Okay, so similarly what is saying, provide user access to the management console. Of course this person will be logging into as you know, one is what we can say, for creating this instances. I think we have discussed in our what we say earlier classes. So it can be done first by using GUI. So GUI, or else we can say it as console. That means, for example, if you want to create one AWS instance, so what will you do? You will log in into the account. You'll go to this EC2 section and you will create one, right? So second one is you can also do the same job using APIs. Okay, so APIs, or we can say SDKs, software development kits. So AWS client. So what we do, these what happens here is, so you need to write commands to do the same task. So as you can see in GUI part, what's there? You will click on EC2. You will select your operating system, so everything is visible on the screen. So that comes under as simple example for this is your AWS account. Just you are logging in and you can see everything in detail. You can click on this and you will be handling from here. So whereas when the same thing, creating one console can also happen through terminal. Okay, for example, CMD, this terminal is there. So this, through this terminal commands also you will be able to create the account. Okay. So what is telling is, we're creating the user is telling that provide user access to AWS console. Okay. So this person will be having access to both. That means he can create through APIs or AWS client or SDKs, or else GUI also, even the user interface also you'll be able to create. So I'm giving both permissions to this person. So Tuesday can also access to the console. If you disable this, the person will be able to only create using the command line. Okay. So I want the person to access the GUI, so I'm providing that also, and click on next. So this will take you to the AWS Identity Center console. Okay. Okay, we'll do one thing. Actually, this I can, this we can do it later also. This we can enable the option after next step also. That's not an issue. So click on next. So here there is two options. This copy permission is fine, but what you need to do is you need to concentrate on two things. One is add user to the group, and attach policies directly. Okay, so these two options you need to understand first. So first option is add user to the group. Okay, second one, attach policies directly. Okay, so it's very simple, so you can understand. For example, if a person is working on a big project, so in big project, as you can see, multiple people will be handling the same job. Okay, for example, a database is there, so the database will be handled, for example, I'll say, so the database is handled by five people. Okay, so five people, five persons are handling the database. So what you need to do, as you know, all these five people will be working on databases only. So that time what you need to do is you will be creating one group. So we'll be creating one group called database. So in that database group, you will be adding all the people who are working on the database section. So I'll create one group called databases, because all the people who are working on these databases will have the same permissions only, right? So these five people will be working on database section. So what I'll do, I'll create one database group. I will add people who are working on databases. Right? Similarly, I'll be creating, I'll say, for example, Python group. Okay. So what will I do? I'll add people who are working on Python programming. Okay, so this is how you can create group. For example, here you can use how many members are working, that many numbers you'll be adding to this particular group, instead of creating one same adding individual person. You can just create one Python group. So whenever you will be recruiting a person, so you will simply take the person, you'll put him in the respective group. Okay, this is one thing. So this is one thing about adding the user to the group. So similarly, what they are giving us one more option. What they are asking is attach policies directly. So here what happens is the person will be directly given the responsibility. For example, in your organization, only one person is looking after the databases. So what we'll say directly, I'll say, so database user. Okay, so that means the user will be assigned the job directly. So because there is only one person who will be handling all the respective operations of databases. So what we'll do, we'll just create one database user. Why? Because there is only one person. If the same task is done by multiple people, So then what you will do, you'll be creating one database group and you will be adding the person to the group. Okay, so that is the difference. So once you do this in a practical manner, you'll understand it a better way. So right now what we will do is we'll try to create a database user. That means only one individual user he will be working. So what we'll say, we'll create, we will, what we will do, we will create a user who will be handling our instances. Okay, so I will share my work. So I'll be creating one user who will be handling our instances, and remember that instances only. So the person will be given access to only instances, no other permissions will be given. So how to do that, and if you want only one single permission or multiple works, so we'll discuss both. Okay, so we'll get back. So I've just clicked on create user. So I'm telling, asking attach policies directly. Okay, so as you know, these are all different permissions of my services. So there are hundreds of services available. So you can see amplify section, administrative section, and administrative access, Alexa, Google API, Amazon App Stream, Amazon App Stream service access only, read only access, full access. Okay, so there are so many. So right now we have just worked on EC2, so we just know about EC2 only. So what will I do? I'll do EC2. Okay, so you need to remember these names. So basically this will help you. This policies names you need to remember. For example, if you are working on this EC2 section, so you need to understand what are all these EC2 policies are. Okay, so basically you can see there are so many things which are related to EC2, right? So as you know, I wanted to create one user who will be handling our instances only. So that means I want the person to handle my instances. So what you can do is EC2 container is a different service. EC2 container is a different service. So you can just select Amazon EC2 full access. Okay, that means full access means you can be able to create the instance or delete the instance or stop the instance or terminate the instance, whatever all the related operations to the EC2 the person can perform. Okay, so if you give this permission, Amazon EC2 read only access, that means what the person can do, he will be able to only access your instances. He will not be able to create our instances or maybe not able to delete the instances. Okay, so restricting the user. Okay, so right now you have we have understood this. So because we have not explored multiple services on EC2, I'll just try to give one random permission, because as you know we are only working on EC2. So I'll say container registry. Okay, so this is a different service. So what I have done is I have created one one user who can access EC2 container registry. We don't even know what is this EC2 container registry. Okay, this is not related to our instances also. Okay, so I've created one user and I'm giving permissions for the person to access EC2 container registry. Okay, so I'll go back. So I've created in user called EC2 container registry full access. Okay, I'm giving the permission. So similarly you can give multiple permissions also. So if you are creating one user, the same user you can work on. If you are giving multiple permissions respect to databases or respective containers, respective to the Docker or respective to the S3 buckets, you can give multiple permissions to the same user. So here also you can select those multiple operations uh, such that he can access multiple things. So right now I'm just doing one thing. I'm creating a user with EC2 container registry. Okay, so click on next. So as you can see, the name is Tuesday. Okay, So we'll scroll down. So here actually saying console password type none, and we can set this also. I'll show you how to set this. So for the user will be username is Tuesday, and the person will be not asking for the password. This password section will come again. We can create a password for him such that he can access. Okay, as you can see, I'm giving EC2 container registry full access, and I'm clicking on create user. Okay, so as you can see, have user has been created successfully. Okay, so click on this username. So you can just scroll down, just go to this security credentials. So I'll as I told, we have not given permission for him to for the console access. So here we can enable. So click on this enable console access. So click on this such that the person can log in into our portal. So click on enable access. So to access this, you need to have a password, right? So if you enable this option, if you're asking the person to log in through the portal, so you can click on enable option. Automatically it will generate a password for you. And also once the person is logging with the auto generated password, this is for the first time. So next time, what you can do, you can ask the user to create his own password. So you can see you can enable this option. If you enable this option, user must create a new password at the time of next signing. So first time this password will be used, then immediately after logging, the user will be given option to change this password. That means we are creating one user, and that user can. It is Tuesday. So this is the thing we are doing. So what this Tuesday can do is he can just log in, and he can change the password. Okay, so that option you can enable if you want the person to change his password. If you enable this, the Tuesday can able to create a password of himself, his personal password. Okay, you can also disable this option. Okay, so you can try both. I'll just go with auto generated password for now, and you can just explore this create a new password section also. Okay, so what happens in this section is after the person login, this AWS will ask him to create a new password. Okay, so click on apply. So as you can see, they are giving me three details. One is a console URL, and username, and console password. Okay, so these are all the things I need to keep it. Okay, so control C, and I will save this details. Okay, so this is my URL to log in to the project, and this is my username, this is my password. Okay, so I'll try to log in now. So I think new browser, we shall see if at all we are it is working on one incognito window. So click on incognito window. So I'll log in from this another browser. So are you guys able to see this incognito window also in your screen? Guys, are you able to see this
Yes,
new
yes,
window?
sir. Yes, yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Incognito window is visible,
yes,
right?
sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So then
Sir.
we'll try from here. So I'll go to this news, this URL. One thing is this URL will be shared with the user. As you can see, each URL will be having one account ID. So this is the number the person need to remember. So it's simple like a mobile number. So a mobile number given to the person. So whenever we want to contact to that person, this number we will be using. So this is called as account ID. Okay, remember this. This is called as account ID. So as we know, this can be accessed in two methods. One is, as we know, Amazon. I'll go to Google. So I'll say Amazon console. Okay. So okay, this is one method. AWS management console. So I'll say sign in. So as you can see, there are two users. So root user and IAM user. So every day we are working on root user. So now I have created one IAM user with the name Tuesday. So I'll click on IAM user. So when I click on this IAM user, as you can see, it is asking for 12-digit account ID. So you might be getting confused like where is this 12-digit account ID? So as you can see, within the link that ID is located. Okay. So you can just simply copy this account ID and you can paste. Okay. So this is your account ID and you can just click on next. So as you can see, account ID got it, and similarly, you can just enter your username, copy username and password, copy, paste. Okay, so like this, you'll be using into logging in into your IAM user account. Okay, so as you can see, uh, this account which we are using is Hari to Bablu is the root user account. Okay, so main user. Okay, now we are coming back to this browser. So this is called as IAM user account. So as you can see, the username. So username at the rate the account ID. Okay, so Tuesday is the username and this is the account ID. Okay, so this is how you will be logging in, and also there is one more method to logging in. So what you can do is simply you can just copy the link provided. So directly with this link you will be able to log in, copy and paste. So as you can see here, you need not enter your account ID, so automatically the account ID will be taken from the link itself. So here I'll be copying my username and now password, copy, paste, sign. Okay, now I have logged in into my uh, user account. Okay, so here what happens is, now as you know, this person is our main goal is to give this person access to our instances and servers. Okay, so only this section need to be available for him, but intentionally we did wrong. We gave him permissions to instance container registry instead of our instances. That means we have given wrong permission. So but if the person is given permission regarding this container registry, can he be able to access your server? No, right? So we shall check that practically. So as you can see, just go, it is almost looking similar to your admin account. So but you see, just if you want to create one instance, so click on services, compute, and click on EC2. So as you can see, yeah, this person is not given access to instances, right? So as you can see, the person will not be able to access any other thing because we have not given this user some permission to access, right? So, but as you know, this you already in this account, I'm handling three servers. But as you can see in this user account, they are not visible. So we want Tuesday to handle my instances. Okay. So for that we need to provide him right policy. Okay. So simply what you can do is, this person has not been given the proper permission. So click on this permissions section. So again, you can just click on this add permission section. So click on add permissions. Okay. So add permissions. So as you know, individually we are having only one single person. So click on attach policies directly. So here you need to give him permissions. So what is a permission to handle this containers is EC2 full access. Okay, so this person need to have, handle all our servers. Okay, so we shall find EC2. Okay, so here you can see Amazon EC2 full access. Okay, so this policy will give the person the complete control over our EC2. So remember this name, Amazon EC2 full access. So you need to remember this name, Amazon EC2 full access. Yes, by using this, you can handle the total instances. Similarly, the different services will have different names that you need to learn. When you are working with registries, you need to have different name. Similarly, you are working with different S3 related operations, then that will be different. Similarly, when you're working on mobile services, the name will be different. Okay, so one thing is you need to memorize the names accordingly. Okay, coming back, so I'm giving Amazon EC2 full access to this Tuesday. Okay, so click on next, click on add permissions. Okay, so one policy added. So let us go and check. Okay, so what are the permissions we are giving? Amazon EC2 full access. Okay, this if you want you can remove, because that is not associated with us, so we'll remove that permission. Okay, so now you can see we have given permissions to this Tuesday user, so he can access our EC2 completely. Okay, now we'll get back, just log out once, now again log in. Okay, so now what is the account ID? So this is the account ID, copy, sorry, this is the password. Account ID, username, password. Okay, so now click on sign in. Okay, as you know that we have given permissions to this Tuesday user to access our EC2. So we shall go to the compute EC2 section and we shall see. So as you can see, you can go to your instances section. Okay, so now in the previous time what has happened, it was not showing you this option. So directly when you entered this EC2, it was showing you all the errors, but right now you can see that there are no errors. Okay, that means this person can handle EC2 now. Just in case, we'll try to create one instance to this account. Okay, so just click, so I'll create one instance. So I'll just click on launch instance. I'll say Tuesday server. Okay, so this is the name I'm giving, or else I'll say Tuesday server 1. So I think we haven't tried Ubuntu, right? So I'll select Ubuntu today. Okay, so Ubuntu I'm installing, and key pair I'll use an old key pair only. Okay, no key pair associated with this account, so create a new key pair. So I'll say Tuesday server 1. Okay, so for Ubuntu I think I prefer to take this ppk file, so I'll select ppk and create a key pair. Oh, I think I have not downloaded it. So create new pair. Uh, Tuesday, keep pair. And I'll save it in .ppk because I don't want to convert it again. So Tuesday keep pair, create keep pair. Is it downloading or not? Go to downloads. Okay, name already exists. Okay, I'll say two. Okay, so create. Okay, so it is downloading the file. So I'll put it in my AWS folder. Okay, Tuesday keeper 2. I've created and scroll down default security group and default configuration, and I'll create instance. Okay, so as you can see, this instance has been created by Tuesday. Okay, not by the owner or else the main account root user we can say. Okay, right, we'll get back to our instance. So the instance it is saying is running. Okay, we'll just try to log in, and I'll take the public IP address. Take the putty software. I'll take the IP address. I'll log in using this. This PPK key. I'll use the PPK key, and I'll just log in Tuesday keeper 2. Click on open. Okay, accept. And as you know, for Ubuntu, what is the username? Can anyone remember? What is the default username for Ubuntu?
EC2 user.
No,
EC2
that
user.
is for Amazon Linux. As we know that we have installed Ubuntu today. For Ubuntu, it is not the same. So just to scroll down, here you can see. See, as you can see, I have installed Ubuntu. So this is not Amazon Linux. As you can see, Ubuntu. Okay. For Ubuntu, what is the username? Okay, you forgot. So for Ubuntu,
Ubuntu, sir.
okay, for Ubuntu operating system, default username is Ubuntu. Okay, all in small characters. Okay, so this is the default username. So copy. So I'll enter Ubuntu. Okay. So as you can see, it has logged me into this Ubuntu server. Okay. So what you need to understand is we have created one IAM user, and we have given that IAM user the permissions to handle our instances. So creating the user, I have logged in into the user account. So that user account has created one instance here. Okay, so as you can see, the person has created the instance and also it is working. So who has created this account? IAM user, not the main user. Okay, so now we'll get back to our this section, our main account section. So I'll come back and let us see if at all the instance is visible or not. Okay, so I'll go to this EC2 section. but still I'm able to see only two instance, but I'm not able to see the instance which is being created by uh, Tuesday. So can anyone tell me why I'm not able to see? As you can see in this account, instance has been created, right? This instance is also running, but you are not able to see in the main account. Why? Why? Your voice is not audible, Amma. One second. Your voice is very, very low.
It it was created by another user,
Of course,
not.
it is created by another user only, but this he is the main person, na? Root user, na? He should see everything. In you will be
Oh,
having access to all the everything, na? Any guess how to see or else how to see that?
refresh.
Okay, I have refreshed the page. Still not visible. Okay, I'll see if at all any stopped instances. No, it is not showing.
Mm,
Any guess?
incognito. Incognito.
Incognito is just for a browser purpose.
This browser.
This is just a
You
browser,
had
that's
to.
it.
So
But the policies.
region
Correct. Who is that?
Akil.
Akhil. Okay, very good. So, what is the problem with region?
Location you have to change now, sir. At
Okay,
Mumbai.
no, you
Yes,
don't ask me question. Just tell me answer. Like,
created in created instance servers in Mumbai location can't be seen any other location.
correct, correct, correct. So, where this Tuesday has been created? In which region Tuesday created this?
Stockholm.
You not
Stockholm,
once.
right? In Stockholm, the
Yes,
person has created the instance. But what we are doing, we are checking the instance in Mumbai
Mumbai
region.
location.
Correct? So that is the reason you are not able to see. Okay. So when I just scroll down, you need to check in this Stockholm region. So where is this Stockholm? I think this is the one. Okay. Europe, Stockholm. Visible now? Now root user is able to see that server. Correct? So similarly, what we have done, we have created this Tuesday user, and we are giving him full access. Now, if we are giving full access, then he need to see all the servers of root user also. Na? So, for example, this root user, what he had done, he had created three different servers. Okay, so these three servers also need to be visible to the Tuesday user. So we'll get back and see. So because we have given him full access, so you need to access this also. So click on Stockholm. So I'll change the location to Mumbai, right? Even for the Tuesday user, we are able to see the all servers. Okay. So remember that one thing what you need to understand from here is make sure that you all guys are working from the same region. Okay. So if we are creating different servers on different region, so that might not be accessible to your group or to your project members. Okay. So I'll just delete this server from Stockholm region, because by default all of us we need to remain in the Mumbai region. So I'll remove unnecessary instance. So I'll select this instance and I will remove it. So terminate instance. Okay, terminate. And remember that after removing your instance, you also need to check in your volume section such that there will not be any volumes which are associated to your instance. Okay. So as you can see, there is one volume here. So you need to remove this also. I think it will take some time. By default, it need to. So there is no delete option because it's already the instance is in deleting stage. So after after the total deletion, if once this Tuesday server got deleted from your instances section, so I want you guys to recheck after deleting your instances. Just go back to your under this EBS section, Elastic Block Storage. Under that you'll find volume. So click on volume. You need also check into the section such that this volume which is associated to our instance need to be deleted. Okay, you need to delete the volumes also. Okay, so going back to my Mumbai region, you might be getting doubt like only this person will be able to use only instances. What about other services? For example, I will say simply I'll go to some other section. For example, I'll say containers. Okay, so I'll say elastic container or elastic container service. Okay, so this is a different service from Amazon. So elastic container service, just for your understanding purpose I'm telling this. See, as you can see, there was an error while retrieving the list of clusters, or else Tuesday is not authorized to perform. That means this person will not be able to access any other services. Why? Because we have given this Tuesday user only Amazon EC2 access. That means he has not given permission to access any other services. This is to tell you that the Tuesday is restricted only to use EC2 full access. If you are giving EC2 permissions, you can use only EC2 services. If the person is given this container service permission, he can only access container service. So similar, what you need to remember is, so go to this IAM. So in this IAM, I'm created this Tuesday user group. So as you can see, here you will be able to handle the user. Okay, if you want to add or remove the permission, you will be doing from this section. Okay, I hope this is clear how to create IAM user and how to handle the user. And the next important thing is we have just didn't discuss about this user groups. As we I think I've just gave you some detail about user group. So this is just an example for you to understand. So database group. So
This
there
is
will be multiple database users. So Python group for multiple Python users. So now we have worked for only one single user.
individual
So
individuals.
right now we'll check how to do the same task for a group of members. Okay. So now what we can do is assume that multiple people are working. For example, we'll take so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, whatever it is. So these five people are your users. So what these five people are doing, they are working on instances. Okay. So all these five people are handling the same job. Okay. So right now you have seen that we have given permission to Tuesday, but same job is done by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday also. Okay, so in this section what you will do is you will not create as we can see, you will not go again and create the user, and the same again you cannot go again to the user section. You can create Wednesday again, the same user section, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, not in such a way. So every time you need to organize your work. So for organizing section, for organizing, what you can do is you will be creating one user group. user group which only work for instances. Okay, how to create that group is we'll see now. So get into this user group section. Okay, so here you can create a group. So this user group, I'll say people working on instances. Just the name for your identification. So people working on instances. Okay. So I'll just go. So as you know, already it is showing me the list of all the users, right? So if you want to add any existing users, you can do that. Okay, already you know that Tuesday is working on instances. Okay, right? You can select the Tuesday. Okay, so again, if you want to add any other permissions, you can do that. Okay, so as we know, for working on instances, we need this permission. So Amazon EC2 full access permission should be given. So I'll search EC2. Okay, so now I'll select Amazon EC2 because all the people who are working on these instances need to have the permission. Okay, now click on create group. Okay, so now you can see one user group has been created. So this user group, with this naming purpose, I have kept people working on instances. So click on this thing, group, and here you can handle your permissions. So as you know, for working on instances, we have EC2 full access permission. So similarly, get back to the user section. So as we already know, Tuesday is already created. Now we'll add one more user. I'll say, okay, first you need to add a user, then you need to add to this. So I'll say, I'll go to this user section. I'll say Wednesday. Okay, so I'll click on next. So here directly I'll add the person to the group. So previously what we have done while creating the individual user, we have just clicked on attach policy directly. So this will create one individual user. So whereas this section, I'm clicking on add user or group. So when I click on this add user or group, so it will show you all the list of groups. So already we know that we have created this people working instances group. So I'll select the person to this group, click on next, and click on create user. Okay. So now Wednesday user will be created. Similarly, now I'll add one more user, Thursday. Okay. So click on next. So add directly adding the person to the group. So I'll select the group which I want to add. Then click on next. Click on create user. Okay. So now I got three users. Okay, so I'll just go